April is a pretty stacked month for new PlayStation 4 game releases. You've got big exclusives like Days Gone, upcoming blockbusters like Mortal Kombat 11. However, one game that's going a little bit under the radar and I want to highlight in today's video is World War Z. Now, in all fairness, I've noticed in our comment section that a lot of you guys are actually super stoked for World War Z already. However, there hasn't been a gigantic promotional push for the title, and it seems like there are a lot of people that are unaware about the game. However, as I'm watching more gameplay, as I'm hearing more about the game, digging up more information, my excitement level for World War Z is definitely rising, and in today's video, I want to take a look at 10 huge things that you need to know about World War Z before you buy it come later this April. So without further ado, let's get right into it. And starting things off with number one, I always like to take a look at an inside look in the development studio, and for the developers of World War Z, we have Saber Interactive, a studio that you might not be all too familiar with. However, they've been around for a very long time. They were founded in 2001 in New Jersey, and they've worked on some big titles. Now, they haven't been the lead developers on a lot of these games, but they have put forth work in games like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary on the Xbox 360, Inversion, that was a shooter published by Namco Bandai, God Mode, RIPD the game, they put work towards Halo the Master Chief Collection, Halo Online. I point to you Quake Champions, a Bethesda published title, NBA Playgrounds. More recently, they've worked on some smaller titles, however, they are coming back in full force in 2019 with World War Z. World War Z can be looked at as their first big budget title in quite a while, and that's why I think from a Saber Interactive standpoint, it's so important that this game turns out well, because they are kind of making another first impression. So for them, a lot of pressure lying on the release of World War Z. Alright, so that's a little bit of an insight into Saber Interactive, but let's move on to the game itself. Number 2. World War Z is a thrilling 4-player cooperative third-person shooter featuring massive swarms of zombies that recklessly rush through their living prey. Focused on fast-paced gameplay and based on the incredibly popular Paramount Pictures property of the same name, World War Z explores new storylines and characters from around the world, intense, overwhelming, gruesomely exciting missions crafted specifically for modern consoles and PC. The swarms in the game feels neither fear nor mercenary. It rolls forward to spread and consume. Together, make your stand and unload an arsenal of deadly weapons into these hundreds of swarming zombies. Feel the satisfying rush of life as you cheat death and prevail against such overwhelming odds. Cut the undead down with rocket launchers, machine guns, sentries, turrets, grenade launchers, barbed wire, and so much more. The weapons available in this game is going to be vast, and how you take out the swarms of zombies, well, that's going to be completely up to you. Now, based on hearing the descriptions of the game, of course, there are going to be a lot of comparisons drawn to past games such as Left 4 Dead. That is the comparison point that I see drawn back over and over again, but the game definitely has its own unique elements. And also, if you're drawing a comparison point to Left 4 Dead, hey, we haven't seen a Left 4 Dead game for a very long time. We haven't seen one on the PlayStation 4. So that comparison, even if it does take the formula from that, hey, other games have done it in the past, and that's not a bad formula to base your game off of and draw comparisons to. So I think that's absolutely a great thing. Point number 3, I want to highlight some of the things that the developers specifically said in their devlog. One developer said this, quote, "This is a game just about sitting down, having fun, and having the crap scared out of you, all the while being chased by thousands of zombies." I think that gives you an idea for what the game is. Yes, it does have its lore and its story. However, this is a game where you want to sit down and you want to just focus on having the fun that the gameplay offers, and that's really what World War Z accentuates. Is there a narrative here? I'm sure there is. However, this isn't a game like The Last of Us. It's not a game where you're supposed to get super absorbed into the narrative. It's all about the gameplay, and the gameplay looks incredibly strong in World War Z. I should also note that in the same devlog, it was noted on the style of gameplay that World War Z will offer. It's a session-based game, meaning that if you only have 10 to 15 or 20 minutes to spare, you can sit down and play. However, you will enjoy the game the most, of course, when you are playing with friends, or if you at least engage with the people that you meet online. If you're playing solo without a headset, of course, a cooperative experience like this that relies on its cooperation, that is not going to accentuate what this game is all about if you're playing solo and you're trying to do your own thing. And it was even noted, if you end up going rogue and try to do your own thing and fight the zombies on your own, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So get a group of friends, sit down together, and you guys are gonna have a great time with World War Z. At the very least, if you are going online and playing with people you meet online, have a headset on, be sure to communicate, and again, that's gonna accentuate all of the cooperative elements that World War Z offers, and that's a major component to the game. Number 4, a little while ago I mentioned the variety of weapons that are gonna be available in the game, but there will also be a variety of different character classes for you to utilize. You'll be able to level 6 character classes and various weapon upgrades to take on greater challenges. Again, in total, you've got 6 unique classes: the Gunslinger, Hellraiser, Slasher, Medic, Fixer, and Exterminator. They each have their own unique perks and playstyles, and you'll be able to customize powerful weapons to survive higher difficulty challenges. Let's go through the classes one by one. First of all, we have the Gunslinger. For those who skip the questions and shoot first, the Gunslinger is loaded with an arsenal of weapon damage and ammo boosting perks to mow down the dead. Next up, you've got the Hellraiser. Enough explosives can solve any problem. Hellraisers come armed with C4 and other tools for effective crowd control. Then you have the Slasher. For warriors with a sense of elegance, the best way to kill is with your trusty blade. Slashers have perks that increase melee damage and effectiveness, while their armed tasers deliver electrifying results. Then we have the Medic. Of course, we all know where they come into play. Sometimes the best way to fight the undead is keeping your teammates from becoming one of them. Armed with a stim pistol, medics can heal fellow survivors from a distance and keep the chaos under control. Next up, you have the Fixer. When versatility in any situation is the highest priority, the Fixer is there for you, starting out with an explosive ammo case and several teammate ammo restoring perks, so another support class. And lastly, we have the very exciting Exterminator. Fire is the answer. Armed with Molotov cocktails and increased fire damage, the Exterminator just wants to watch the undead burn. So again, all 6 of these classes will play in their unique ways. They're gonna have their own unique perks, and playing as all of them will add some sort of replay value to the game, but you also want to find out which one you like the best and probably stick to that one. But obviously, that's gonna add another layer to the variety in the game, and that's great. Speaking of variety in the game, that's what point 5 brings me to. You're not gonna be playing in the same locations every time. Multiple in-game locations to fight the hordes in with location-specific scenarios. I want to go through all of the locations. First of all, we have Moscow. Father Popov and his team must survive the zombie horde to find a secret Kremlin bunker. You have New York. A group of survivors atop a Manhattan office building must survive the zombie-infested buildings, streets, and subways of New York to escape the city while the military attempts to take it back. You've got Jerusalem. A military squad must rescue a top scientist from the fallen city to activate a weapon system on an abandoned satellite base. And finally, Tokyo. Quick to respond to the global outbreak, Japan decides to evacuate the country. A volunteer search and rescue team must battle hordes to protect the civilian population as they retreat to Tokyo Harbor. So not only are the aesthetics going to change, but the actual playstyle and how the game is presented based on the different regions and what's going on in those regions, that also drastically changes. So that's going to add another layer to the gameplay and another layer to the variety that's available in the game. And all this, to me, what this tells me is that this game is going to have an incredible amount of replay value from all of the different locations, all of the different classes, and how you play the game. That should add a lot of replayability to the title, but that's just my speculation given the information that we have. Number 6, so of course a big element of the game is the zombie swarm, and in-game zombie hordes behave like real crowds, getting stuck in narrow corridors and climbing on top of each other to reach players on higher levels. Hordes become increasingly more difficult to defeat and behave like single entity bosses as players progress through the game. The game also features its proprietary swarm engine by Saber Interactive, and that seamlessly renders hundreds of zombies on screen in incredible firefights. Advanced gore and dismemberment systems provide a visceral and gruesomely satisfying third-person shooter experience. So yes, this will be quite a bloody game. I think that's to be expected, given the IP that it's based off of, but expect these hordes of zombies to be rendered pretty beautifully. Number 7, also talking about replayability, the game is going to feature procedural enemy and item spawns based on player performance. That is going to provide a highly replayable co-op experience. Stand your ground, gear up, and strategize as you set traps, barricades, turrets, and sentries to survive the zombie swarms. So every time you play the game, based on how you're doing, it is going to alter a little bit and adjust itself to better meet how you specifically are doing. Number 8, and this is a little bit of a disappointment to those of you on PC, the game will be a timed Epic Store exclusive. So this is unfortunate for a wide variety of reasons, but mainly this is a cooperative-based game, and it does make the game a little bit more of a hard sell to your friends, and that also makes me question how much longevity is that online gonna have if there aren't inherently as many people playing. If a game is released on the Epic Store, it goes without saying that it's gonna do lesser than if a game was released on Steam and other platforms that gamers just gravitate to more. We saw that before. You can make what you will of the Epic Store, however, limiting a game to just the Epic Store, of course, that is going to limit the visibility of the game, and in turn, that'll limit the player base. And unfortunately, for an online-oriented game, for a cooperative-based experience like this, that is a big point of contention, especially if you are a PC gamer. Number 9, this is a great point. This game will not be priced at a full $59.99, and because this might be a title that you gotta sell some friends on so you can all get on together, the lower the price, the better, and it will be released at a budget price point of $39.99, making it a lot more accessible. Again, you'll want to play this game with a couple of friends, and you'll probably have to take on the role of selling the game to a couple of friends, so if it was priced at $59.99, would be a little bit of a hard sell, but at $39.99 for a brand new game like this, Saber Interactive's first big game in quite a while, I think that was a great route to go, and it should make the game a little bit more accessible to everyone. Now, I said the same thing about Generation Zero being priced at around $39.99. Unfortunately, That game didn't turn out all too well, but hopefully World War Z can turn out differently, and because of this, it becomes a rather compelling multiplayer experience and it becomes more palatable of a pickup for a lot more gamers because it's priced accordingly. And lastly, number 10, when are you going to be able to play World War Z? Well, the release is not all too far off. It'll be out April 16th for the PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC, and if you do pre-order the game, you'll get some incentives. Pre-order World War Z and receive the infamous Lobo melee weapon with a trio of golden weapon skins to take down the zombie hordes in style. Again, World War Z officially drops April 16th, and that's gonna conclude this video. World War Z is a game that I feel like is gonna garner more anticipation as we get closer and closer to the release, and if it turns out to be really great, I do see it resonating even more and just more people end up picking it up. I do unfortunately think that the fact that the game is exclusive to the Epic Store is going to limit its user base on PC, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But overall, I have a reasonable amount of excitement for the game and I'm hoping for the best. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you excited for World War Z? Are you still not sold on it? Do you have to see more gameplay? Are you going to wait for the reviews? Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.